Hi, this is Monty with Phoenix Tactical Solutions, and today we're going to talk about handguns that people bring to defensive shooting classes and the problems we see with some of them for the following reasons. Let's start off with, let's say, Glocks. We see a lot of students come to class with, whether it be a titanium striker installed, doing these 25-cent trigger jobs, installing these aftermarket recoil springs that are either tungsten or stainless, installing these, I'm not going to name any manufacturer, but these triggers that give you a very light trigger pull. Let me tell you what the problems I've seen with these. Let's start off with the titanium strikers. If you're shooting a round that has a relatively hard primer, it doesn't have the mass to get the job done. So what I've seen through the years is a lot of light strikes. So the student spends a lot of time clearing malfunctions, doing a lot of tap racks. Let's talk about these drop-in triggers that reduce the pull weight. Why would you do that? If you're taking a defensive shooting class, why would you come with a handgun that's got a 2 or 3 pound trigger? I mean, if, God forbid, you use that in a defensive shooting, the prosecutor will have a field day with you. The point is that you can, if you train enough, you can be just as good with a stock trigger. There's no need for these types of triggers. And another thing I've seen is these, as far as the recoil springs go, with these tungsten or stainless recoil spring assemblies. I've seen one actually, the stainless steel rods stick out of the front of a Glock 19, even though the student had followed instructions and put Loctite on it to make sure it doesn't do that. That's the last thing you need to deal with. So those are things that I've seen with Glocks, and another one comes in mind, and again, I'm not going to name any manufacturers, but I've had a couple of people come with Glocks where, you spend $2,500, I think, on these Glocks. They have the nice little patterns, little ditches milled out on the slide. My God, one of our students couldn't even do consecutive rounds out of one of those things, and it's $2,500. So stay stock. Get good with a stock handgun. God forbid you have a defensive shooting situation, you're in the clear as far as that handgun is concerned. The DA is not going to say, well, you're gentlemen of the jury, this, he had a 2 pound trigger on this handgun, which is way below the factory recommended trigger pull, so anything can happen. Now, moving on to 1911s, I have a Colt Officer, an enhanced model, and a Defender. And the Officer is a 3.5 inch barrel, the Defender is 3 inch. And these are the ones that everyone claims are notoriously unreliable. I haven't shot that many rounds out of my Defender, but I've got a few thousand rounds out of my Officer, and I haven't had one malfunction. Why is that? Because I haven't messed around with it. It's completely stock. I've had the front strap checkering on it. No problems at all. None. What I see is people come in, we've had students come in with 1911s that are considered junk, like a para-ordnance, but they've gone through a class with 600 rounds in a skill builder, not a single hiccup. I've had people come in with these highly tuned 1911s worked on by various gunsmiths. They can't run, a full magazine out of it without a malfunction. So again, as far as 1911s go, just don't mess around with them. Don't mess around. Not all gunsmiths are created equal. So again, my Officer has, I think, a 5 pound trigger. Works fine, no problems. And this is a model that's supposed to be notoriously unreliable. So the point is, stay stock with the 1911s, Glocks, whatever you have, M&P, any handgun that you have. If you're taking a defensive shooting class, stay stock. Stay stock. That's about it. I'd love to hear your comments, and we hope to see you in class someday. Thanks again. Take care.
Ready? Stand by. Computer ready. Stand by.